Hey, Raider Nation, how you guys doing today? It is game day. Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I'm your host, Phil Jones. Here with me, as always, Phil Robinson the third. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic on this lovely Sunday morning on this week 3 edition of the Raiders pregame show. We've gone through this quite a bit all week long, and there hasn't really been a ton of changes, none really at all, none major, and this should be pretty smooth. What do you think?
You know me. Expect the unexpected. I don't take anybody lightly because you got to look. This Miami team literally just went. They got the ass kicked 35-0. Do you honestly believe that they're going to just roll over and take a beating like that again? No. In the NFL today, you either rise up or, you rise up then play dirty. So you got to expect anything that's coming from your left, your right, what's in front of you, and what's behind you. I'm going to tell you this. Just because we're playing at home, Raiders need to set the tone. If they feel that they got the competitive edge over them, you can't settle for field goals. You can't just go out 3 and out. If you're going to be aggressive, you need to drive downfield. You need to put points on the board. What I mean by putting points up on the board, you need to put 7. You get your touchdown, you kick your field goal, kick it off again. Defense got to do their part as well. 3 and outs. Get to Jacoby Brissett. This is not going to be a game where, we can just go on and kick field goals and they still won't come back in it. Don't get that mindset. And especially like the way our O-line is looking, our O-line needs to be better than what we've seen the last 2 games. Yes, we don't have Denzel Good. There's no Richie Incognito. You have a rookie in Alex Leatherwood. You all are out there to do a job. And you need to do that job correctly. Meaning, if I ask you to stay on your man, stay on your man. I mean, it's that simple. Because I look back at that game, and I just looked at, damn, we're missing blocks, we're whiffing on this and that, and there's no excuse. Not one damn bit. The Raiders are going to have to really set the tone really at their O-line. And not just for pass protection, but it's really to get the run game jump-started. This has been looking abysmal for the past 2 games, and the Raiders need to find something, and they got to find something now. They had something going early on in that Steelers game where they had Peyton Barber just running right up the middle. And it was looking good. It was starting to look successful. But the problem was, we're going to run Peyton Barber to the outside. He's not an outside runner. This week, this is going to be the difference maker, Phil. The Raiders went on and added Trey Ragas to the active roster. He's not coming up from the practice squad to the active roster. They signed him and gave him a contract where he's going to be on the active roster for the rest of the season. So, that being said, that's telling you multiple things right now. One, I don't see Rashard coming back. Another thing, once Jacobs comes back, you have him, Drake. It's a possibility, you don't continue on with Peyton Barber. And you have to look at the success that Trey Ragas had during the preseason. He's still bumping and running. He's still grinding. He was good. He was looking good in the pass protection. He was looking good running up the middle. He was looking good on the outside runs. He kept his feet moving the entire time. So if I'm the Raiders, if you have him involved in this running game today, meaning it doesn't have to be centered around him, but have him involved in this running back of committee. You have Drake, you have Barber, and you have Raggers. Use all three of them. Stop being one-dimensional and just using, okay, we're going to just use Drake and we're just going to use Peyton Barber. No. Use all three of them. Utilize them. If you can do that, the Raiders are going to have success on the ground because something's going to open up either way. Shit, why you add Alec Ingold? Wear down this defense. This is supposed to be your bread and butter originally.
So a lot of people have said they're concerned about this defense and cited names. And I've gone back and I've looked at the stats for both games. And Mac Jones in his first game was able to throw for 281 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions. Josh Allen didn't have quite the day that Mac Jones did, but they had a 100-yard rush. The Patriots had a 100-yard rusher. So we've had Jeremy Clum from the Fin Fanatic, editor of the Dolphins Digital Digest magazine, and Antoine Staley have both come on and said that the running game, the run defense is not that great. And while they do have two good corners, excellent corners, the rest of that defense is kind of hit or miss. And from what I've seen, it looks like they've progressively gotten worse. And sometimes the same guys don't play the same way from season to season. I mean, if you want to be real, we saw it in Oakland between 2016 and 2017. And I'm not writing anybody off by any stretch, and you do have to be prepared. And I know I'm more worried about Jacoby Brissett and the offense rather than the defense, because the Raiders' offense have been able to put up points against a couple of very good defenses, and the Dolphins appear to be in decline.
Yeah, when you look at the Dolphins' defense, when it comes down to passing yards allowed recently, but you got to look. It's really in the running game where they're struggling. Passing yards is like normal. They only allowed like about 400 and some yards within the last two games.
Right.
But when you come down to running attempts, they have allowed 60 carries. They allowed about nearly 300 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Their average opponents are averaging about 4.5 yards per carry. Now, the thing about it, the reason why you didn't see Josh Allen throwing as much, Josh Allen uses his legs.
Interesting.
And that's always been him. He's always been a guy that will come out and run the ball with his own. He'll call his own number. He'll run it. If he sees something like, why Rich trying to throw it over there and I can get an easy 10 yards right here. See, the one thing with Josh Allen that I've noticed, if you go back to last year, and one of the reasons why they lost to Kansas City, he's always throwing the deep. He's always throwing the deep balls. He's not throwing the intermediate routes. He's been, if you notice this year, he's been starting to get a little bit more of the intermediate routes in. So that last game, I mean, it tells the story. And if I'm the Raiders, if you can run the ball, and Derek Carr can run, your running backs here can run, but this all depends on your offensive line opening up the holes. Now, granted, there were some holes that they did open up. It's just Drake needs to open his eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hole where he could have ran for about 25 plus yards. All he had to do was shake the safety. And with his ability, he can do that.
Got to show that elite wiggle.
I know, right? Hey, that's all you got to do in this game. I mean, really, offensively, things are aligning for you, but it's the bonehead penalties that are screwing them up.
Absolutely, it is. Leatherwood has got to be more technically sound, and we've touched on it, but we haven't really touched on it, especially when you go back and look at the tape. Leatherwood abandoned the punch for nearly the entire game against the Steelers. I watched him just attempt to catch TJ Watt on nearly every play. It was a complete breakdown in technique, and I'm not even an offensive line guy, and that was easy enough, plain as day, for me to see. They've got to stick to their assignments. They've got to get back to using good technique, and interestingly enough, Leatherwood's scheduled in to start, and I believe Jackson Barton is his backup today.
So I agree with what Taylor's saying. This is a young line. It is young at that right tackle spot, is young at the left guard spot. I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't deny it. But the thing of it is, you got a tight end in Foster Moreau. Going to put him up on that side. Now, Foster got me with something, man. Foster whiffed on a block, and I was just like, what the hell?
It wasn't just one. It was a few.
No, the one that I saw that should have been for a big game. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he did whiff on a few. And yes, Taylor, I would agree. Foster needs more targets in the passing game because once he gets open, he's shredding them.
That should be your red zone guy. That should be your red zone tight end. As much as we love Darren Waller, when you go to the red zone and you look at red zone efficiency, it's Foster blowing him out of the water far and away.
I mean, if you really look at it, the Bills did what I'm literally saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Singletary ran for about 46-yard touchdown. Then you threw about 2 short passes within the red zone, and then you had 2 running touchdowns again. I mean, they kind of balanced it out just to beat them.
To run away with it, not just beat them, to run away.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they put up 35. I mean, it's not like it was a 10 to nothing or 14-0. They put up a fair amount of points on it. Now, it's really going to come down to how well the Raiders line blocks today, how well they stay committed to their assignments, and how clean they are with their technique and hand usage. Leatherwood has been phenomenal in the rushing game, but they can't run. Well, I mean, actually, they might be able to run every play, but still, it's been the pulling guard that has had the issue with the blocks, and maybe they just run straight power or pull from the other side. Who knows? Just a couple things you can do just to tweak it a little bit, and don't change what you do, but just switch it up a little bit so it works better. Or maybe Simpson just blocks better. That would be ideal.
How many turnovers do they have, like, for their defense, or how many times do they turn the ball over? Now, in that last game against the Bills, they only had like that 1 interception, and that was it. But when they turned the ball over, I think they threw 1 pick.
Yeah, 1 pick. No fumbles.
Yeah, the offense. Yeah, Yeah, they had like one pick. They threw one in. No, they threw.
They forced 2 fumbles.
They threw one interception. Yeah. Let me see. You got it right here. Hold up.
Yeah, they forced 2 fumbles, threw 1 interception. They didn't recover any of the fumbles, but they forced 2 and got an interception against the Bills and against the Patriots. That was no interceptions.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, but 3 fumbles. Yeah, they forced 3 fumbles.
But I tell you this.
So they attacked the football. You just got they attacked the football, and that's really what their defense does best. Because looking at it, they give up yards, they give up scores, but they'll attack the football. So as long as they focus on ball security and wrapping that beast up and hanging on to it, there shouldn't be any problems.
Now, this is the one thing I like to pay attention to when it comes to advanced stats. How many times did they blitz? This what 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17. They blitzed 17 times and only managed to get 1 sack the entire game. So you mean you blitz 17 times and only managed to get 1 sack?
It's many.
When it came to pressures, they had 4, 6, 7. They only had a total of 7 pressures.
Off the 17 blitzes?
Mm-hmm.
And one of those was a sack. So you got 6 pressures outside of that. That's 30% of your blitzes. A little bit. 30% of your blitzes. 33.
But there's a lot of missed tackles on this list, man. A lot. You got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. God damn.
Yeah, Vince, you're absolutely right. He has been more mobile, quicker with his decisions, and better and much more aware in the pocket. And that's what's been the real difference maker is his awareness in the pocket, the way he's been sliding and moving around while staying in the pocket and not being the go-finator.
No, that's true. And see, that's the only blessing with the way you have this O-line right now. Derek Carr is showing you that even though my O-line is looking like this, I can still get it done. I can't deny it. But he goes into Miami. He faces Miami today. You got Xavier Howard. You have Byron Jones, Devin McCourty. So if I'm them, you can shred them in the short game.
All right, fellas. I got some prior commitments and pressing engagements, so I'm out of this. Phil's going to take it from here. As always, go Raiders. Raiders over the Dolphins. I got them at 28-10.
28-10. They didn't score 30 last week. I'm gonna go 34-13. I see Dolphins managing to kick a lot of field goals in this game. So I got them they get the field goals, and they probably have 2 field goals and get a touchdown. But really, offensively, the Raiders have a lot of opportunities to go forward on. Now, when you go and look at the defense for the Raiders for today, you're arguably going up against one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. I believe, if I'm right here we go. The Dolphins have given up about over 10 sacks within the last 2 games. They're not able to get the running game started. They can't get the pass protection down. So, if anything, if I'm the Raiders defense when it comes to coverage, be prepared to look for the RPO. They're going to be looking to try to get the short passes, try to get the run a couple of screens just to try to open things up. Now, you know that we don't have to really blitz that much. So, oh, man, Taylor, you're funny, bro. 76-3? Come on, bro. That's crazy. Okay, 38-13. That's more plausible. 32-19. Okay. This kind of game, yeah, I do see Max Crosby getting about either 4 sacks. Maybe this might be the game that Yannick actually has about 2 sacks in. Yes, Casey Hayward, he has been excellent this year. He has given up no yards. No yards. And it's been a long time since I've seen a Raiders corner being able to do something like that, to give up no yards, no touchdown. This is a better Raider defense than what we've seen over the years. But as always, don't take your opponent lightly, because things can just switch up. Second half adjustments. Yep. Oh, I like this, Kevin. I love this. I love this right here. Tips and overthrows. Morey gets his first interception. I'm with you on that one. This is one game I do want to see Morey get his first interception. How's Mullins' health? Mullins fine. Mullins ready to go for today. I think what happened last week, I think a lot of the guys were just cramping up. It was hot out there. I think the temperature was about I think it was 87 out there in Pittsburgh. And then it was just 90, 92 degrees on the field. So that's uncomfortable to play in. With all your gear on, that is uncomfortable. Thank God they didn't have to wear their black jerseys for that game, but no. But really, the Raiders defense is going to rely on handling the short game against Miami, and really just getting that pressure that we've been doing the last 2 weeks. We really haven't been blitzing. I think we blitzed a total of 4 times, and being able to get that pressure from that D line without blitzing. And yes, Abrams does need to wrap up a little better than what he's doing, but the sky's the limit for this defense. This defense can really come out and be a top 10 in the NFL. Just the interior pressure is really a plus that we've been looking to get for the past 4 years. That's what cover 3 is a setup for. Yeah, check down and tackle. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I said. Look, it really relies, and that's why I say, I remember I was talking to somebody this week. They were saying, linebackers are really not looked at as top tier. First off, if you didn't have these linebackers that we have right now, I think the Raiders would be struggling. If you didn't have Perryman, if you didn't have KJ Wright, if you didn't have, even if you didn't have Corey Littleton, I know some folks get a little irritated with Corey Littleton missing tackles and whatnot, but when he's out there in that coverage, he's getting the job done. Yeah, pass rush has been great. You have Darius Philon, you have Quentin Jefferson, you have Solomon Thomas, and Hankins. So when you look at these guys that we've had up front, they have been nothing but solid. They have been guys that have been able to take care of business and getting us off the field for 3 and outs. Not like we got like a 3rd and 18 and we're giving up 20 yards and they got the first down. These guys are getting the pressure that we've been looking for, like last year's games. This is what we needed last year. But yeah, without blitzing, this has been great for this D-line. They've been able to execute. And yes, Kevin, again, Littleton has played well. And he's had his missed tackles, and I think he's going to be able to shake that off. But when you need a guy like that in coverage, he's been the guy that's been taking care of it. I'm a little worried about a letdown game. I hope they don't take them lightly. I don't think anybody's taking them lightly. The Raiders have no room to say that. Well, really, I'm going to just say this. No player in the NFL believes in taking a team lightly. I mean, no team at all. So when you look at who you're facing that ended up beating you in the last final seconds of a game last year, you're pissed. You know that you should have had that win last year. And you knew that if we got that win, damn, we would have been sitting at 9-7. We probably would have had that one little chance at the playoffs. Going into this year would have been a little bit better, a little bit more plausible than we got to be fighting for our life right now. Nobody's taking this team lightly. Fans look at it as, fans look at going against the Dolphins like, oh, this is a cakewalk. No, it's nothing is a cakewalk in the NFL. I want everybody to know that. Nothing is a cakewalk in the NFL or even college football. Any football game in general. Because anybody that got their ass whooped 35-0, they're pissed. It's stuck in your head. You had to sit in the film room during the week and just watching yourself get your ass beat going over that play. Hey, you got burnt right here. Hey, you missed your assignment right here. Hey, he went right past you on this, and this. So when I tell you nobody's going to take this lightly, the Raiders are not taking this game lightly because usually a team like that, when they lose, they tend to be like a rabid dog. And I know it's early in the year, but with the guidance that our team has, they're going to get their shit together. And I said in the beginning, the Raiders have to set the tone. When they get the ball, they need to settle for no field goals. They need to go out there and get 6 on the board. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm going to get that. About to fly out. All right, man. Hey, you have a safe trip, bro. Every time we play a team, we should have beat. Last year, we either lost or it was a dogfight. You got to look, man. You had Paul Guenther as your defensive coordinator. Okay? Paul Guenther was your defensive coordinator last year. And this is why your defense was in that dogfight, going left and right, battling for no damn reason. If you had went and got the guys that you should have gotten, then you wouldn't have dealt with it last year. Maybe if you got rid of Paul Guenther last year, you wouldn't have dealt with this. So when you look at a guy like, and what's funny, everybody really was ready to put get the tiki torches after Rod Marinelli. Look what Rod Marinelli has done with that D-line this year. the collaboration with him and Gus Bradley, mind you, him and Gus Bradley, they worked together when they were in Tampa. So that collaboration, they're both seeing eye to eye on things. Marinelli and Paul Guenther, they weren't seeing eye to eye on things last year. Marinelli probably thought that what Guenther was calling was hot trash. The stunts and the assignments that Guenther wanted Marinelli to have that D-line run was outrageous. Nobody could get anything done. He wanted them to stay home. If you go and look at the film, he wanted that D-line to stay home, or, okay, we're going to do like a stunt on the outside right here. We're going to do this and that. So it's god awful. You're holding these guys back. You're hampering them down, and they're not playing to their full potential. So when you look at what Marinelli is able to do, he's able to call what he needs to call for the D-line. And Gus Bradley's like, hey, I'm all in for that. If it's going to help, it's going to help. So what you've been seeing is Marinelli being able to do his job as a D-line coach. Gus Bradley's like, if it works, it works. Gus Bradley's like, I'm going to call this, and if it goes 2 and 2 together, we're great. We're set. Now, Kevin, I'm going to say this right here. You said Guenther's scheme is more suited for veterans who have been in for, I would agree with that one. But you got to also look at it as this. That was Marvin Lewis's defense. Marvin Lewis's defense. That wasn't Paul Guenther. Paul Guenther tried to add his extra stuff, but he tended to second guess it. And when you second guess what you want to run, you're not going to have any success. So when I say this is a new and improved defense, mindset, maturity, and the leadership that is surrounded around them. And when you have that, you're going to have success. These guys are not looking at the way things were when they were playing under Guenther. You have a leader of men taking control of this defense. And that's Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley has led these guys out there like, I trust you to get this job done. He's been able to trust these guys out there. And what's happened? These guys have went out there and gotten the damn job done. Now, there are a few things I will say is this. And I know some folks will be ready to say, get rid of Clelin Ferrell. Clelin Ferrell, keep him on that depth, okay? And when you look at it, run support, I prefer him out there a little bit more than Max, okay? I love Max, but I like Ferrell out there when it comes down to run support. And that's been one of his things. If you look at it so far, he's been solid in the run support. He knows to stay home. He knows to hold down the outside. But overall, defensively, the Raiders have the advantage, but they need to control it the entire game. They can't just come down to the level of the Dolphins where they're struggling right now. When you come down to your opponent's level and they've been struggling, you're going to struggle as well. You're going to look terrible. And they're going to end up to get the advantage over you in the end. You can't play at their level. You have to play above their level. And once you do that, the Raiders can look at going 3-0. Yeah, I don't think Ferrell should have been starting. But if you're going to work him in with some reps, in that rotation, I had no problem with that. He is a good rotational guy. But him being your main starter, not so good, you guys. But I think if you know that they're going to come out running the ball, I do think Ferrell is better suited on the outside instead of you having Carl Nassib out there or maybe Max. But I think they're going to try to figure a way to try to, work that in. But so far, the Raiders going forward today, all I can say is this. The ball's in your court. If you're going to come out strong and aggressive, you got to finish that. You got to finish that way. If you're going to come out looking flat, well, Raider Nation, you can go on and look at all them damn Denver fans getting ready to clown us and shit. I'm just going to be real. If you come out flat today, you're going to just be listening to all the damn Denver fans saying, "Ooh, I thought y'all were the best. I thought y'all were going to be running the league, being undefeated." You're going to hear that all day long. So that being said, Raiders need to make sure they come out and take care of business. They need to make sure that if you're going to come out strong, I mean, even when it comes down to kickoff, y'all better be looking to get some strips. So Dolphins, they're pissed. They lost their starting quarterback, and they're hurting. Raiders, you're getting guys back, and you're getting guys that are getting ready to get the opportunity that can be an impact on this defense and offense. You got to take care of business. That's it. That's all the Raiders got to do right now is take care of business. You're at home, and you're supposed to be honoring Tom Flores today for going into the Hall of Fame. So don't come out looking ugly. For the love of God, do not come out looking ugly for Tom, because I'm going to be pissed. Okay? But other than that, I mean, Raiders been taking care of business. People didn't see them winning against the Ravens. They didn't see them winning against the Steelers. So, yeah. I think they're going to take care of business today. I think they're going to execute on every drive that they have. They're going to execute on defense and cause a lot of 3-and-outs. And when they cause those 3-and-outs, offense needs to take care of business. All right? But I'm not going to hold everybody that long because we got some other games to watch today. You got to if you're at home, get your tequila ready and live your best life and enjoy this game. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Subscribe to the Unfiltered Truth. I'm Phil Jones. Phil Robinson's with me in spirit, like Yoda. Y'all take care. You know what? The hell with it. I do a spaces for you guys for before kickoff. So I'll jump onto that later on this afternoon and have that set up for you guys. You guys take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day.